Hi guys. Hi. How are you doing? I'm late today. 12:13 p.m. guys. I don't know if you guys are there, but I had to do this one. I was running very late. I hope that you're there. Today is Saturday, the 13th. No, the 29th of January. So I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to join. I know you guys have waited for me and maybe gave up, but better late than never. One person, type your name there and tell me where you're watching me from. I overslept. I came from work in the morning and I went to bed and I overslept. So I just woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's late. 3 people, thank you for joining me, guys. Uh, like I said, I am very late today because I overslept. I didn't set my alarm. So I overslept and I just woke up, guys. So I'm going to give it a few minutes to see if people are going to join so that we can do a session. If you're there, oh, wow, I see people are there. 5 people. Thank you for joining me. And I'm going to acknowledge people here in a little bit. Today I slept. You know, I went to work last night. And when I came home, I was so tired. So I decided to go to bed. And then I didn't wake up until almost like 11:50. But I'm here just as usual, and we are going to do what we do. So I see people have started typing there. We can start at 12:17. At least we see if people are going to come on. This is Charities Bubble USA, your number one channel. Guys, I'm here, and we are going to share and see what people are asking, because people have asked so many questions, and you know that's what gives me a morale to go on with this channel, because I see the quest. I see people are really interested in stuff. You know, I did another video, I can't remember when that was, and then another person commented and they said, were you very tired? Yeah, I was very tired at that time, but today I am not tired. So we're going to talk about a few things here. It's 12:16 here in the US. It's 12:16 p.m. It's in the afternoon. Tell me where you are and what time it is, and I am going to acknowledge you here in a little bit. Today I was late, guys. I slept and I woke up late. So, but we are gonna do this. We are gonna do this here in a little bit. I see people there. Type there. I'm going to acknowledge your name. If you type there, I never miss anybody. If you have a question, type it there, and we are going to talk about it. Question, comment, feedback, anything. As long as it's appropriate, type it there. It's 12:16 p.m. Here in the US. Someone is typing there and telling me it's 21:15 hours in Kisumu City, East Africa. Yeah. That is 9:15 p.m., I believe. We are normally behind you guys with 8 hours. So here it's during the day. It's during the day. It's 12:17 p.m., guys. So I'm going to start acknowledging people. Okune Florence. Hi, Charity Florence from Siaya. Thank you for joining me, Florence. Triza Makumi. Triza from Kikuyu, Kenya. Thank you for joining me. Irene Sang. Hello, Charity. It's Irene from Nairobi. Thank you for joining me. I'll be seeing that name often. I told you guys that I normally see the names that come on. You know, the names that come on. I see them and I remember. I have a very good memory, guys. Imelda Otieno. Hi, Bubbly. First one here, there, Imelda, thank you for joining me. Grace Wangare, thank you. Hi, Charity, watching from Nakuru. Thank you guys for joining. Mary Jogona, hi, Charity. Thank you for joining. Charity, I like your passion and simplicity. Following from Kisumu. Thank you for that. And Jeremiah, hello, Charity. And Jeremiah watching from Nairobi. Christine Danyi, 21:15 hours from Kisumu City. Thank you for joining me. Filisiwe Mudembu, hi Charity, it's 2016 in Zambia. Filisiwe Mudembu, Charity, thank you guys for joining me, guys. You know, you guys are awesome. just joining me in this space and interacting with me. I really do appreciate you guys. I do appreciate you guys. And I want to first of all apologize for coming in late, because I went to bed after work and I was so tired. So I just woke up a little bit late. But not to worry, we are going to go on. If you have a question, please type it there and let me know, and I am going to answer it. Pauline, me here. Hi, Bubbly Charity. Thank you for joining me at this time. So I've seen this question that's coming on so many times about technical work, and I've seen this question that have come so many times about work like shopkeeping, or like the general work. Now, what I can say is that, but let me first of all introduce myself. For those who do not know me, for those who are new here, my name is Charity Nganga. This is Charity's Babu USA, your #1 channel. I always forget to introduce myself, guys, and thank you for joining me. I mailed out there. Hi, Charity, I have a question. Are you paying for your schooling, or is it free for citizens? I'm going to answer that in a little bit. That's a very, very good question. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly consider subscribing. If you haven't given my video a thumbs up, kindly consider giving my video a thumbs up. So I was talking about the regular work. Now there's something that like I can tell you guys, like when you move from Africa and you come and live here in the US, your mindset has to change, because here things are done differently. It's not that you cannot keep a business. Yes, you can, but you find that the open air businesses, there are not many. Actually, there are very few. So you find that most of the things that are done here are indoors. Even when you're going to the supermarket, the store, it is indoors. Even when you're going to buy clothes, it is indoors. Even when you're going to buy the second-hand clothes, the used clothes, everything is indoors. It's in a store somewhere that you have to go in, and you go and buy there. So there is nothing like open air. Because you find that if you can come here with a mindset and say that maybe because you are a shopkeeper or you are whatever, that's what you're gonna go on doing. You find that that one does not work. It's not like the way you can go to a hotel maybe and you buy like tea and mandazi or whatever. It's not like that. Yes, restaurants are there, but you find that here it's like something like a franchise, whereby you find that it's a company that has so many sub branches. So if you wanna, so let's assume something like McDonald's. So you find that if I wanted to have my own McDonald's, I would, but I'd have to join them and maybe put down some money so that I could start my own McDonald's. You see what I mean? Because I am using their name. So that is how it works. So you find that before you think about doing a business here in the US, the first thing is to think about how are you going to settle? Because here it's most regular people work and they are paid. They work and they're paid. Yes, there are people who have established businesses, but you find that it takes after years, after settling, is when you are able to start a business, because a business is going to cost you a lot of money. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So you find that when you're coming in, if you're out there and you're coming in, you find that the first thing is to forget about that mindset. Of course, you'll have culture shock, because things are very, very different. And then you are going to be in the employment sector for this time. After you're in that employment sector, then as you proceed, then you can do savings or whatever. Maybe your credit is going to be good. Maybe you can afford a loan. And if you're business oriented, then you can keep a business. Nobody is going to ask you when you're keeping a business, when you have all the licenses and everything. Another thing is that, like, here it's not like, if you go to Nairobi, I had a business, and this one was very common, whereby sometimes you were late to pay for the city council, and they would come and everybody would close their shop, all that stuff. So you find that doesn't happen here. You find that if it's your time to go and pay the money to the municipal or whatever, you have to pay it on time, because you find that if your license is expiring every year, you know that you have to go and renew. So there is no like that stuff of like, someone has to come and follow you up and do all that. No, you have to, because if you do not, normally what they will do is that they will send you a letter. And then when they send you a letter, for you to respond and pay. And if you do not pay, of course, maybe you will be called. You can even be called to court if they have sent you so many letters and you do not want to pay. So you find that if you want to keep a business, what I can say is that you have to have stayed, you know the system, you know how it goes, and then you can start to do a business. So for now, I would say, like, unless you have so much money, you don't put your mindset that you're coming to keep a business. No, put your mindset that you're going to come and work a little bit, settle, and then you start, because this it's going to be all new, guys. It's going to be all new when you come here. So I hope that I was able to clear that one, because I've seen that question so many times. It's even been, you know, people have reached out even in inbox and all that, and I thought that it was good to let you guys know. Okay, let me see another question there. Imelda Otieno is asking me, hi, Charity, I have a question. Are you paying for your schooling, or is it free for citizens? No, it's not free for citizens. But you find that when you apply for the financial aid, FAFSA, it's called FAFSA, you find that that law, that money, there's money that you get called a grant. A grant is money for free that you get, but you don't return back. So depending on your school fees, you find that you can use that and pay your fees and not use the loan. Of course, with that comes in the student loan, whereby there's a loan that has an interest, another one that does not have an interest. So you decide, because you are the one who, because when they send all the details about the loan that you have been approved and all that, the grant is there. So you can decide, I want to take the grant and I do not want to take the loan. So it's not free entirely, but you find that there's that money for the grant. But if you, let's assume, like the nursing program, sometimes the money is gonna be over, and you do not, it's not enough for the grant that you got. Then you can take a little bit, and then after you're done with school, they will give you 6 months a grace period, and then you can start paying. And the payments are not so bad, because even if you're not able to pay what they expect you to do, there's some paperwork that you can do and tell them, this is what I can afford to pay, and then you are able to pay. And then another thing that is an advantage when you are a citizen or a permanent resident is that there are so many scholarships, guys. So many scholarships when you go to school. So you find that when you go there, all you need to do is to apply. When you apply for the scholarship, maybe if you get 500 here, you get 1,000 here, you get whatever, you find that one really helps you. You are not taking like a huge amount of loan, of the student loan, because you know, if you know, you have to be wise, and you have to know that this is where I can get help. So there are so many avenues that you can get money, but entirely it is not free of charge. You have to pay. You have to pay. It's not free of charge. The one that I can say, like, is kinda, I would say it's kinda free, but it's not necessarily free, is the lower education from first grade to 8th grade. You find that one, even if you're paying, you don't pay a lot for your kids. It's just a little bit of money that you pay. And of course, they have lunch in school. Maybe you can apply to do something called reduced lunch. But I told you guys that everything that you get depends on your income. It depends on your income. And you find that something like when you're applying for those financial aids and whatever, you find that they have to look at your taxes and see, this person, this is what they are doing, this is what they have been getting, and then this is what they can get. So they have those brackets that they have. Depending on where you fit in is the amount of money that you're going to get. So it's not entirely free, but you find that after you have finished school, it's very, very easy for you to pay up that money. It's very, very easy for you to pay up that money. So it's not free for citizens. You have to pay, but you find that you still get help, and you still can apply for scholarships, and you will end up with very little money that you borrowed. So it's very easy. And even if you borrow, it's not something that's gonna stress you, that you'll be like, as everybody will be like calling you. Or no, you just make your payments monthly. After 6 months, you have worked enough and you have set up, you know, a strategy of how you're gonna pay your money. So it's not so hard, guys. On this side, it's easy, guys. It's very, very easy, because even you get a job like immediately. After you finish the course that you're doing, it doesn't matter the course that you're doing. As soon as you're done, you apply for a job, you won't even last 2 weeks, you'll get a job, because everybody is needing help at this time. So that's a very, very, very good question. Okay. Now, kindly, I understand, this is Teresa Makomi. I understand for J1 visas, for just in trade like a plumber, you got to be verified first by a certain body in America. I've seen the video, but you didn't mention the above. Now, I said, if you got me very, very well, is that I said if you do plumbing, you have done plumbing, the plumbing course, of course, you will go to school, you will do some general aids or prerequisites, and then you will go do the technical course, the plumbing course. It normally takes you have to do 180 hours in class, of which that is involved in the classes that you're going to do. And then you can go and do something called an apprenticeship, whereby you will work in a certain company. It's a big company. You're still a student, but they're paying you. You see what I mean? You're not paid like a 100% plumber, but you still get something. But you find that if you go to school and you finish in school, you do all your practicals in school, you don't want to do any apprenticeship or whatever, you find that you can be a plumber anywhere. What you need is just a local license. That's all that you need. And then you can go and work. Another thing, you find that maybe you did plumbing out there, outside the US, and then you came here and you wanted to proceed with plumbing. So you say that you don't want to go to school, you want to go and do the exam, because there's a plumbing exam that they do. You find that for that one, before you go and do the exam, you have to find someone who will sign for you and say that they know you have worked for them for like 3 years, or they can sign for you so that you can be able to do that test. And that is what my husband did, because he didn't want to go to school. He did not want anything to go with school. So he looked for someone, and then that person, he had been working with him for a little bit, and then he went and did the test. So you can do that, but that is outside. It's like someone who is outside in outside of US, and they want to do a nursing exam. They can still do it, but you know, there are avenues and their ways. So I hope that you get that one better. Okay, now let's see. So and there's something else that I said, that when you come in the US, it's not a must that you go and do a degree. It's not even a must that you become a nurse, because not all of us are cut out to be nurses. Not all of us are cut out to go and do degrees. There are so many jobs. There are so many jobs. But what you have to think about is that this is the job that I am doing, and I am here in the US. How much am I making? How much do I need to work for me to make all my ends meet? That's what you think about. Because like I told you guys, when I came here, I started as a CNA. But then I looked, I was like, I have to work so many hours for me to get like where I want to be. So I decided I'm gonna advance myself so that I don't have to work so many hours. I can work a few hours and take care of my kids. So you decide, guys. You decide, guys. And you know, there's so many things that can be done. Like so many. Even there's hairdressing. You can even do hairdressing. And if you do hairdressing and you go and live in these big states, you find that you get a lot of money. You get so much money by doing hair, because you know you get a lot of money. So so that is that. I hope you have understood that. So Grace Warimo here. Hello, it's been a minute. How are you, Charity? Our bubbly lady. Grace Warimo, I haven't seen you like in forever. It's been like forever. And thank you for joining me in this session. Please give my video a thumbs up, guy. Okay. Charity, what happens when you get invitation but no visa appointment in the Kenya embassy till next year? Now, when you get an invitation, now it depends on what's the duration of that invitation. Let's assume it's a graduation. If it's a graduation in May and the graduation is happening at that specific date, they have a specific date that they've set out. Of course, when that date passes, you're not going to get a visa, because they'll be like, where are you going? You see what I mean? So if there is no appointment, even if you get an invitation, there is no way that you can come here. There is no way that you can come here. And there's another question that I was asked before I forget about the visas that you get, especially if you want to come and do healthcare or whatever that you want to come and do. Those things are there and the agency is there, but there's a caution. I always like to give a caution, is that you can do everything, but you find that at the end of the day, the hurdle will always be to get the visa to come here. It's always a hurdle. Even if you're a doctor or whatever, there's always a hurdle. So that's why I say, even if you're doing with agency or whatever, remember that the agency is not the one that is going to go and get whatever for you and get the visa for you. It is you. So you always have to prepare when you're going for those interviews and know that this is what they expect of me. This is what they have asked for. When they ask me, this is what I am going to answer. I am not going to digress. I am not going to answer what I was not asked. So you find that there are those things that you have to look at. Even if you have done your test and you have passed, you find that if you do not pass the interview, that appointment, that visa appointment, it doesn't matter whether you have passed that test. it does not matter. So you find that there's still that hurdle, guys, and it's always good to think about it so that when you're going for your interview, you are 110% prepared. You have to be very, very much prepared when you're going for those interviews. And I said earlier that when you're going there, do not care about what the other people that you found there. Don't, even if someone has been denied, don't listen to what they're saying. Even if someone has been given, do not listen to what they're saying, because you find that maybe you had prepared very well, and then you started talking to this stranger because they were given, and then they start telling you, this is what I was asked, and then that is not what you were asked. So you get mixed up, and when you go there, you find that you don't do very well. So you have to be very, very keen, because you find that when you go there, they're even studying even your body language. You know, like studying body language, you find that that's a new thing in Africa. But you find that here, like, you know, someone can just walk in and you just look at them and you can tell. So they can tell that it doesn't matter what you say with your mouth, even they are observing your body language. And I told you guys, when you're going for that appointment, make sure that you are making eye contact. It's very, very important. Very, very important. I know the African way is not like that. It's different. When we are talking to our superiors, it's very, very different. We don't look at them at the eyes, but here it's rude when you're talking to someone and you do not look at them in the eyes. So that's very, very important for you to know. Okay. Kismet Isa, that's my sister. My sister there. I tell you guys, I only have one sister. Thank you for joining me. She lives in Mombasa. I only have one, my little sister. Okay, let's see. Clement from Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, winner of American Lottery DV 2022, and I wish you all the best when you are going for your interview. Or of course, I wish you all the best, and I just hope that you get your second notification letter. So then I have a Nancy Njoki. Please elaborate courses in nursing that one can undertake but won't have to be the one with patients, e.g. people who can stand blood, woods, just to mention, and pay good. Now, the first thing that is that when you're going through the nursing school, Nancy, even if you want to specialize in something else, before you get the hurdle, you get out and become a registered nurse, or you become a licensed practical nurse, you will still encounter blood somewhere, because you will go for your clinicals. You'll go for your clinicals, and when you go for your clinicals, you have to deal with patients. So you will get that. But if you completely do not want to do that, then you can become something like a nurse advocate, whereby your work is to just check the problems that your patients are having. So you're advocating for them. And if there is a case for abuse or whatever, something wrong that was done to the patient, then you are hired by a certain company, and you can go and represent those patients. You can also be hired by the nursing boards. You find that they normally hire people whereby, because there are so many controls here, so many controls, even in hospitals, even in nursing homes, everywhere, you find that there are some people who normally come to check how work is being done. They just come, they sit there all day, they observe, they make notes, they ask questions, and those are qualified nurses. So there are so many things that you can do. You don't necessarily have to be on the bedside. You can even decide, you have done nursing, you go do your master's and everything, and then you decide to teach. You decide to go and teach nursing. So there are so many things that can be done if you do not want to be on the bedside. And like for me, I do not want to be in the bedside forever. I want to do something different. I feel that if when I am done, I feel like I would do better if I am teaching. So that's what I want to do. So you don't have to be on the bedside at the same time. But at the beginning, your clinicals, you have to go and pass all those, and you have to work with real people, especially when you're going to the hospital. So that's a good question. And I hope that I have answered it to my best. Davis Dashna, here, my friend. Hi, Charity, following from a Dorette. Thank you for joining me. 28 people there. Please give my video a thumbs up. Ruth Mukangura, hello, Charity, I'm following. Hi, Charity, Mob Love. Agnes Botto, thank you for joining me. Mberengong Clement Beriwi, thank you for joining me. Mkenya Marekani TV, there is my friend there. There is my friend there. Thank you for joining me, Mkenya Marekani. It's been a while. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you're still doing well in your channel. Thank you for joining me there. So so you have to put all those considerations, guys, when you are when you're doing nursing. Now there's another question that another person had asked me, and I think that's a very new person in my channel, because she was telling me if she needs to send her documents. Like I said, they changed, guys. They changed, and it's always good to pay attention. Even go through those videos, scroll down, and see if there's something that is new, because they changed, and people are no longer being asked for those documents. And you know, guys, COVID is going on. It's not that COVID has stopped. COVID has not stopped. So you find that that contact everywhere, they're trying to eliminate all that contact, so you're not gonna be able to send them. But what you will need to do is to go, when you're going for your interview, they tell you need to get 1 2 3 4 5 6. Make sure that you arrange them in order and you take them. That's what you need to do, because if you do not do that, then you will be very, very confused. So for that person who had asked me that question, I had done a video on that. So you don't need to send the documents anymore. Okay, let me see if there's another question there. And if you have a question there, please ask there. Let's see, hero. So there's this other person who was like, he's been on my neck all the time. He's asking about the truck driving, and he's also asking about like in detail about the plumbing. Now there's a video that I have done. I'm editing it, and I'm going to post it here in a little bit, but I just want to talk a little bit about truck driving, because truck driving is good, and it's a good course that you can do, and it doesn't take a long time for you to do it. So let's assume that you came from where you came from, and you know how to drive, like you have an idea of how to drive a truck. Although when you come here, it's going to be a little bit different, because you drive on the opposite side. But at the same time, if you have driven a car. So you find that you'll go for that course for like 4 weeks. And then, but before you go for the practical work, you have to go and do the theory part of it. So when you do the theory part of it, you read on it, and then you go and do at the DMV. That is where we get the license. After you do your theory part of it, then you will go and do your practical exam. After you have done your practical exam, you can decide you want to be hired, because you need to get that experience and you need to know how to work in the road. But before you start thinking about truck driving, for me, having a family, because my husband did truck driving for a little bit and then he stopped. It's good to consider, when I go to do truck driving, do I want to be away from my family for a long time, or do I want maybe to spend time with my family? Because you find that what I know is that, and I'm not saying that truck driving is bad. I'm just giving my view here. Especially when you have very little children, you will miss their milestones. Yes, you will make a lot of money, because they make money, but you will miss a lot of milestones with your kids. So you have to decide on all that. And then after you have decided, maybe you want to work and bring the money home and miss out on that, then you can go and do that truck driving. But it takes so maybe you can be gone for a week, maybe you're gone for 2 weeks. So you decide. And then after you have worked for a little bit, because they will give you someone to be working with as a car driver. They're not just going to give you a truck because you just did your test. They give you a truck and you start driving. No, they will give you a car driver, and you can drive for a while before now they can trust you 100% and give you your own truck. Then after that, you can decide that you want to have your own business. And there are some people who have had their own businesses. So what you do, you will go, you'll get a truck. And what I would say is that, I've watched manual work here, and I've seen that manual work is very, very expensive. So if I wanted to have my own truck, if I wanted to do my own business of trucking, I prefer going to buy a new truck. I know that some people might not agree with me, but that's what I would do, because you find that when you buy a new one, it gives you more service, as opposed to if you buy an old one that has so much mileage, and then it will keep on breaking down, and you find that when you go for it to be repaired, maybe it's gonna be costing you like maybe 2,000, 1,000, whatever. That's a lot of money. So when you buy your own new one, because you want to be your own boss, then there's a certain number that you have to go and register. It's called the DOT. And then now you have that one specifically. Then from there, you can be going online, because you are your own boss. You go online, you look for luggage. and then you negotiate. After you negotiate the luggage, then you can take the luggage to wherever that you're taking it. And when you're taking it, make sure that where the destination that you're going, you have looked for another luggage, that when you're coming back, your truck is not going to be empty. That's how it's done. But you find that for you to get there, you have to maybe work for some time and get money, save some money so that you can buy your own. That is my own perspective, and that's what I have gathered so much from my husband. Like that's the best, because you find that I know there are some people who are like, no, I'll just buy an old one and I can go on with it. What I know is that when you come here in the US, it's good to buy an old car when you're here in your first time. But as you advanced, it is good to buy a better one. Even if you would buy a brand new one, like mine, I bought it, it only had 3 miles on it. But why I decided is because I don't want to buy a car that has very high mileage and I'll keep on taking it to be repaired. And I'm making payments on that car. No, I don't want to do that. So you can decide to do that, but it's upon you. You will know like what to do when you come here. Okay, let's see. Samuel Karaoke, hi Charity, I'm inside. Thank you for joining me. Nicholas Okoya, hi, I'm happy to be live with you. Thank you for that, Nicholas. Hi Charity, this is Osman from Ghana. Please, do you have a Muslim around Kansas City, a mosque, and mosque where they pray? Yes, we do. On the south side here in Wichita, on the south side, there's a mosque. And you find that, like I told you guys here, nobody cares your religion. Nobody is going to ask you about your religion. Nobody cares. You're free to, there's freedom of religion. What there is not is, like the way as Africans we are used to, because I am this religion, I want to preach it to my neighbor, or I want to preach it to my friend, or I want to preach it to anybody who is around me so that they can join my religion. You cannot do that here. You cannot do that here. You find that everybody can practice their own religion, but you cannot. You cannot go to tell. Now let's assume it's me. I like to give my own example. Now, like I am a nurse, right? I have my patients. I cannot wake up right now and go to my patient and tell them that you have to convert to my religion because it's no. You can't do that. If that is even risking your license and all that stuff, you can't do that. So there is freedom of religion. Any religion that you want to be in, you can be. So yes, there are Muslims here, there are mosques here, and Muslims where they go to worship. Okay. Okay, I hear of health records. Something do I have clinicals to do? Clinicals in that area. I don't know if you're asking about health records about a nursing school. I hope that's what you're talking about. Because like I told you, I think I talked about this. I said you need all your immunizations before you go to nursing school. And right now you need to be vaccinated with the COVID vaccine. You have to have that. And of course, you have to have a clear TB screening, a result that is negative and all that. And there's something else that we normally do. Even if you become a CNA, you become a med aid, or you become a nurse, or whatever in healthcare, you must have a CPR. CPR is whereby if someone fainted, or if someone was drowning, whatever, you'll be able to give them first aid, like that first aid. And you find that there's something about CPR that I learned here that's very, very important, is that even kids, you teach them like that in case this happened to, it's in the family, if it happened to one of the members of the family when they are older, like my daughter Christine. I know some of you know my daughter. I've done some videos with her. You find that I teach her like how to do CPR, and they're even taught in school, whereby they can help if anything happened in the house. They're able to help, which is very, very good. Because I remember there was when I used to be back there in Kenya, I didn't know much about healthcare. And there's something I like about here is that there's a lot of awareness and there's a lot of explaining. Even if you have any disease, it doesn't matter. They will give you a lot of education, and you will know this is what is going on with me. This is what I can do. This is what is going to help me. Like there's all that, because you find that most of the time you don't know. And sometimes that information is not relayed to you, because you find that we have that fear. As Africans, we have that fear that we don't want, we have that question inside us, but we do not want to ask. And you find that when you're coming here, you need to change that and be able to speak up. You have to be able to speak up and stand up for yourself, because if you're not able to, then you won't get so much help. So you find that you need those clinicals. I digressed a little bit there, but you need to have those ones before you get into nursing. So those ones, they are very, very strict on those ones. You have to have them, but you'll have them because when you're coming here, and the first thing that you will come here before you'll go for your medicals. So those are the ones that you come with, and then you can go to a health center and then you tell them, this is what I have. Do I need more? Because like I told you, when I took my kids to the health center, they needed more. So they were given more. And I still take them. When I go to their clinics, when I go to their doctor, because I have to take them for checkups, you find that the doctor tells me they need this one, they need this one. So it's a continuous thing that they normally do. So you really need those immunizations. That's the only thing that you need. And of course, you need your COVID vaccine. Okay. Teresa Masila, Charity, how do IRNs work? 3 days in a row and then 4 days off? Do they choose their preferable days or is it random? Now, yes, you choose your days, the ones that you want to work. You choose your days, you make your own schedule. Now, an RN, you can work on it. You can work 3 days. It's good and you make good money when you're an RN and you're fine. You're off 4 days. You have time to do other things. And that's why I really want to be an RN so that I can, I can only work 3 days and I am done. And let me tell you, after you have done your 12 hours, you will be so tired that you won't want to go again because you're very, very tired. Your mind is tired and you want to get off and give yourself a break. So 3 days is good because the money that you're making is enough. It's going to be enough to sustain you at that moment. As opposed to if I am working, maybe I am a caregiver or maybe I'm a maid, you find that if you say that you'll only be working 3 days, you find that your money is still not going to be a lot because you find that 3 days is only 72 hours. And if you are a CNA or a maid, maybe you'll say maybe you have to work 80 hours for you maybe to get some more. Maybe sometimes you'll have to work overtime. But there's some people who do the math and they say, I don't have to go to school because I can work all those hours and whatever. But for me, I always look at the future. I'm like, when I grow older and I cannot be able to run, I cannot be able to run and do all that and do 5 jobs or whatever. Then if I have this, if I have gone to school and I have this job that I can work 3 days, then I'm good. You see what I mean? So all that comes into dynamics when you come here and think about, but it's only 3 days. But you decide. There are some who work 5 days. There are some, it depends on a person. There is no limit. But at the same time, there's something that you have to think about when you're working. Let's assume that you have a job and you're working just 3 days, or maybe you decide you'll be working 5 days. So 5 days. Those 2 extra days are going to be overtime. So when you do the math, there was a time that I wasn't doing my math very well. But then when you do the math, you find that when you work overtime, you get taxed more. So you find that the money that you're making, you're thinking that you're making so much money, but sometimes it's not much. Yes, it is. But when you look at the taxes that are added on that time and a half, it's a lot. So sometimes you're like, oh, I don't even need to do that. And at the same time, when you go to file your taxes, you find that if you have worked, if it's so much and it has exceeded, instead of getting returns, then you have to return, you have to pay back. So you have to look at all those dynamics. But all that stuff you get to learn when you get here. You get to learn and to balance, because you have to balance your equations for you not to, there's no point of working like 5 days a week or 6 days a week. And then when you look at your paycheck, you see like, oh, you have been like taxed so much money, because when you work overtime, you get taxed more than regular. So you have to decide. But 3 days for an RN is enough, and you're good to go. Okay. Nathan Ontegi, we can't miss your show. Have no questions, only worries on May 7th, 22 outcome. Yeah, oh my gosh, Nathan, I can only wish you the best. That's all that I can do right now, just to wish you all the best and have faith, guys. I told you that if even in our family, if we were being handpicked like this, the people who would go in the US, we would not have been picked. We would have been there. Alas, have you ever gone to a party and you see like there's those people who sit on the high table, there are those people who cook, there are those people who are put in charge of meat, and there are those people who are they're behind the house, and they're the ones who are washing dishes, and they're washing dishes on a place that has a lot of dirt and mud. Now that is where we were in our family. That's where our family were. So we were there behind. So having faith is good, because I never thought that I'd be in the US, guys. It took a miracle for me to come here. So have faith, and you'll get there. And like I said, even if you don't get the DV lottery, there are other visas that I've talked about that you can try. Always try, guys, and you find that with faith, things happen. Okay. Now, Christine Danyi is saying, clarify our degrees or skills. Clarify that our degrees or skills are irrelevant once you get to the US. And does it imply an immigrant can get an opportunity with a specific skill, therefore, total overhaul of skills? No, it's not irrelevant, guys. It's not. It's not irrelevant. If you're an electrician, it is not irrelevant. If you're a plumber, it is not irrelevant. What you need to do is bring your transcript with you. Bring it and come and go and do the exam. I told you guys, when you're a plumber, you can go and do the plumbing exam to get that license. But you need someone to, because you don't want to go to school, then you need someone to like a guarantor. That's what I would say, to say that I know this person can do this work in a good way, so they can do the test. You see what I mean? It is not irrelevant. You came as a hairdresser, you can still continue doing hair. I still do hair. So you find that it is not gonna get lost. If you come with your degree, you have a certain degree that you have come in from your country, and you come, you will take it to your school and they will get the equivalency. When they get the equivalency, they're not going to put it behind there, because if they're going to put it behind there, then they could not have acknowledged my Form 4 certificate. They're going to tell you, this is where you are, and then you tell them, this is what I want to do. And then they will tell you, these are the little classes that you want to do, the general education, and then you do another major that you want to do. But what I can say, like, just to make it clear, is that let's assume that you are a manager, a bank manager there. And then when you come here, you want to become a bank manager. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless you are sent by a company that is at the same company here. They have the same company here, and like it's like a, it's like a transfer. There's that visa that I talked about. I can't remember the name, but those are the corporate ones, unless it's that one. But if you find that, you have to start somewhere. But even if you are a manager, you did something. So that transcript is the one that you take to school. They give you an equivalency. It is not irrelevant. It is very relevant. But they have to give you, this is what you have, and this is where you are. So this is what we need for you to go on, or for you to do your major. But it is not irrelevant. It's very, very relevant, guys. And it's an advantage when you have those degrees. A very, very good advantage when you have those degrees. So do not feel like, oh, I did this. No, they're not irrelevant. They're very, very relevant. But they have to look for an equivalency of what you have done, and then they will tell you, before you do that major, this is what you require to do. Okay, Dominic, good afternoon, ma'am. Happy New Year. God bless you. I'm watching you from Peru. Thank you for joining me, Dominic Matata. Chahai Charity, I was deported from Germany. Can this affect me as a DB winner? Why were you deported? That's what you should ask yourself. Why were you deported? So when you ask yourself that question, if it was a criminal thing, they will look at your background. Of course, they will look at your background. If it was a bad thing, then you find that there are those questions that you answer in the DS-260, and you have to answer them truthfully. And of course, you'll go get the police clearance certificate. Of course, if you had lived in Germany for more than six months, then they would want to know. So if it was a bad thing, the question that you can ask yourself, and you don't have to say it here on air, just ask yourself, why was I deported? And then why you were deported, then you will see. If it was a bad thing, of course, they won't let you come in. They won't let you come. Hi, Charity, you look gorgeous. You are glowing. Thank you. I must say glorious. Thank you for that. Okay, Malaya Sharifs, hi. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for your response. I'm a 49-year-old RN, newly licensed in Kenya without work experience, and have won a green card. Where does she begin once in the USA? Now, that is good. When you are an RN, you have won your DV lottery, you go for your interview. After you go for your interview, you come here, and then you will go and you will do, of course, you'll do a little bit of courses, some refresher courses. But when you go to a school, you'll tell them, I have an RN. They will guide you on how to do the NCLEX. They will guide you on how to do the NCLEX. And then you will do the NCLEX. When you pass, you get licensed to work here. But you must do the NCLEX. You must do the NCLEX. But you stand a good chance. You don't have to go back to school and redo all that. No, you don't have to go back to school. You're good. They'll give you the ways. So as soon as you're here, you'll get the way to do your NCLEX. Okay. As a CNA, after working for 3 days, you get another employment and work some 3 extra days. Yes, you can. You can even work 10 jobs if you want. Nobody is going to ask you if you work 10 jobs. It's okay. You can. And even being a CNA is okay. It's okay. I told you guys, it's not a must that you go to get those big degrees. No, it's I'm a mother. When I look at my kids, I'm like, even if someone does not get that degree, they are not gonna stop being my kids. They will still be my kids. It's the same thing, guys. Even if you come to the US and you don't go and get that degree, and you're able to meet your needs, you're able to meet your needs. You can make your ends meet. And you're doing good, then you're fine, you're okay. It all depends. Not all of us were cut out to go and get those degrees. No, that's not how it was. Grace Wangoy, I'm happy for watching you live. So educative. Watching from Dubai, almost going home to start my process to come here. God bless you. Yeah, I wish you all the best, Grace Wangoy. In whatever that you're doing, I just wish you all the best. And everybody who is watching me, who has that quest of coming to live in the US, guys, I wish you all the best. That's all that I can do. I just hope that I will have some people who will win the DV 2023 for the first time, like me. I won the first time, and oh my gosh, I was so happy. I was very, very happy, guys. So it's after 59 p.m. So if there is no other question, I am going to end this show. And thank you for being with me. And I will see you in another video. And I wish you all the best. You have a good night if it's night in your country, and you have a good day if it is good day in your country. And now I am going back to sleep, because I told you guys that I woke up late because I had to work. I worked at night. So I'm going to go and sleep a little bit because I have to go to work again tonight. So thank you for being with me, and I will see you in another video.